Okay, so we're finally here at the beach. This is going to be my first time filming out in public where I am speaking to myself and directly to a camera. A little bit of context. 2 years ago, or more than 2 years ago, I made this video called Transitions, where I essentially gave a little bit of a glimpse into my headspace at the time, as well as what was going on in my life. And I think that was a really great video because I actually had the space to sort of voice what I had been feeling at the time and using videography as sort of an outlet to express myself honestly as well as critically. And now I'm hoping that making this video has the same results. It's kind of a funny story. When I was in Japan, there was just one night where I started thinking about, I guess, everything. And I don't know, it really inspired me to just open up Notepad on my phone and just start typing out a list of things that I wanted to improve upon or see better habits in myself and what I wanted to do. So yeah, I'm hoping to clearly define what I'm looking for, what I want, and how I'm going to achieve it. Sounds a lot easier than it actually is, to be honest. So I think I finally set up. I still feel really awkward out here. It's very calm, harsh lighting. So I guess a few things that I wanted to talk about. When I was coming up with this list of areas to improve upon, I think they focus on 6 core parts of myself that I identify as important or something that I think would be nice to have as I get older. So I think it's important to start talking about why this list exists and what I guess it covers. I think there always comes a point in everyone's life when they think about themselves critically. Obviously, we are one's own harshest critic, but I think it's still important to identify key areas in which you can grow. One mindset I've always had since, I guess, high school is that I never want to feel as though I've peaked. For me, the peak is when I stop trying to grow or stop trying to learn. I think through college, it was really easy for me to just say, well, I want to grow in building this technical side of myself with computer science. Even now, I think I still really want to keep building, still want to keep learning, but I've sort of ignored a lot of other parts of my life that I think could definitely use some work. So the 6 areas I wanted to improve upon are appearance, health, organization, finances, knowledge, and happiness. I'm going to dive into the more specific parts as I go along on my day trips and sort of, I guess, talk about why I've been feeling these sort of things. And it might get a bit convoluted, it might get cut out. Hopefully I remove all the jumble. But I think it's important to sort of note this down in a sort of video entry, hold myself accountable towards these goals. I think without some sort of explicit writing that I want to achieve these goals and that I want to better myself in these areas, it's never going to be done. Especially with video making, I have struggled to put in the time and effort to actually see something through, and that's definitely something I want to improve upon. Doing a little moving, definitely noisier because I am right by the water side. Don't know why I chose that. Yeah, so when I say I didn't plan out this video, I really didn't plan out this video. So I guess to start off with my first point of appearance, it's not that I'm unhappy with how I look most of the time. So one thing I wanted to work on was a skincare routine. And I was very lucky that growing up, I didn't have to deal with a lot of acne or pimples or anything like that. But I definitely want to make sure my face is cleaner and looks good for the camera, obviously. So yeah, I have all the products and I've been working on that. So hopefully we see some results. Another aspect that I wanted to work upon was my teeth. I think looking through my photos while I was in Asia, I definitely felt a little bit more self-conscious about how they look. But it's also my fault for not properly cleaning them or going to a dentist in a while. There's also like a little bit of a misalignment with one of my teeth, and that creates like a weird shadow, which makes it look like one of my teeth is completely yellow, which it's not. That one's pretty simple, just improve on simple dental hygiene, right? That's why I got a better toothbrush. That's why I got better toothpaste. And I've been working on my flossing. Not the dance move, but the actual flossing in your mouth. I think beyond that, I've really gotten into fragrances and smelling nice. I've gotten a few scents that I like and that I feel suit my personality, so I'm hoping to smell better every day now. Additionally, I think as I've gotten older, I realize gym shorts, a t-shirt and a hoodie is not really cutting it anymore. I want to improve on my style, my sense of fashion. We'll see about that. I still think I struggle with colors, and I guess just like making sure everything feels coordinated. Is this even recording? Yes, it's been 5 minutes. I don't know why I thought it wasn't. I'm going insane. All right, so I think I've covered enough. Definitely not everything I wanted to say. While I know it's important not to dwell on my appearance too much, I still think a lot of these are just daily habits that I know I can work on and just put a little bit of effort into. Having a routine, knowing that I'm trying to better myself in some capacity is just a little bit more fulfilling on the day-to-day, I guess. Hi, this is VoiceOver James. Just letting you know that so many of the clips taken here at this beach were rudely interrupted by planes flying overhead. Let's take a look. And there's another plane. It's like two planes flying above my head. Yeah, a beach that's right next to a airport was probably not the best idea. To impress. I remember hearing that line. Okay, me. I'm never gonna finish this with all these fucking airplanes. Alright, that was a quick aside. Let's get back to the video. Alright, it is the next day, and I am heading to San Diego for a day trip. Let's see how that goes. I'm already 2 hours behind schedule, so hopefully this works. So currently at a rest stop, taking a quick break, and there seems to be something going on over there. So we're now in San Diego, which is great. That was a great 2-hour drive, but I realized that I low-key need to use the bathroom, and I didn't set a location for that, so we are gonna go find one, hopefully go to a cafe, restock on a drink, and then yeah, hopefully I get to go play some mini golf and talk. Alright, so we finally made it to Belmont Park. Never been here, but heard good things, and I'm excited. I also got my drink. Sadly, they did not have a public bathroom, so I had to search, and I am still bathroomless. So let's hope I can find a place soon. Otherwise, this is gonna go poorly. I got Sakura milk tea, so it's a bit of strawberry with regular milk tea, I think, and then regular boba and crystal boba, so that's pretty cool. Ironically, as I drink this, I'm supposed to be talking about my health. There's more strawberry than I thought. Health is such a blanket term that encapsulates so many different aspects. I guess in particular, I'm trying to focus more on my diet, regular exercise, and I guess affirmations in some sense. One thing that I've been trying to work on for the past few months, which is especially difficult as a college student, is to eat better. I'm gonna try and require vegetables at every meal. This is gonna be really hard, especially with takeout, because like a lot of the times takeout doesn't really come with vegetables, but we'll try and make it work. I might try and cook something alongside it, I guess. Oh my god, I brought lunch as well today, and it doesn't have any vegetables. It's just leftovers from a restaurant I went to the other day. And then the last thing for diet is limiting the amount of sugar and caffeine I have. Because I think there was some time that I started having boba 5 times in a week, and that was kind of crazy. I mean, who could do that now, right? I think besides that, I really want to start working on going to the gym or regular exercise. I know it's easy to say, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym 5 days a week, 6 days a week, but I know in my heart that's not gonna happen immediately. So I'm hoping to start out with some daily stretches maybe. I think this will help me feel a little bit more limber and just like ready to get out of my bed and not really rot every day. I also think playing a sport would help. I've been getting into table tennis a lot more recently, and I've just found it so much more fun to play with others or people that I know. I think it'll be very scary if I have to pick up a pickleboard paddle to make friends, but I think we gotta do what we gotta do sometimes. I think last for health, this is more focused on my mental. At times, I sometimes forget how important affirmations are to feel encouraged myself as well as to encourage others. I know I've been doing it for some people, but I haven't really been doing it for all my friends, but I think that's definitely something I want to improve upon, especially like telling them how much I appreciate them in my life. I definitely want to improve on that. And I think to myself to reassure to me that I know I am putting in the effort, I am caring about myself and my body, and just, I guess, feeling as though I'm more confident in how I present myself. So I guess that's why appearance and health are so important, or at least the beginning of my list, because they're immediate things that I know I can work on, and I might be able to see results, whereas the rest of the stuff is a little bit more subjective and might not be as measurable. I'm going to find a bathroom, because, God, this is This is f***ing awful. Holy shit. It is hot in this car. No AC. I turned on. I am sweating. Change of plans. Mini golf was not what I expected. I think I just didn't expect so many people to be out here on a Monday during work hours, but I guess that's the summer for you. And I'm gonna try and find a secluded spot somewhere near La Jolla, which is my favorite place in San Diego ever. So yeah, hopefully it is not so hot in this goddamn car and it does not take too long to get there. Okay, so I just climbed up a hill to get to this point, and I know it might not look like much, but God, pretty steep and out of breath. So I am currently at La Jolla, the famous swing set that has been taken down. I don't know if this is something I just didn't read about, but 2 years ago, I swear it was still up. But yeah, very calming, very peaceful, very relaxing. Hopefully no one else comes up here or tells me I can't be here, which is possibly pretty likely given that there's no swing set here. There are a lot of initials on the trees. Moving on to the third point, organization. As you can tell by how disorganized the schedule is and this video, in general, still working on that. I think these are typical responsibilities that you don't think about on the day-to-day that might impact your overall organization. And I think this has sort of happened to me because I started thinking about what emails, what messages do I have to respond to. I sometimes forget that I need to clean regularly my apartment. Otherwise, it gets worse over time and actually harder. So being on top of things might actually be a good idea. I'm probably going to skip over the minute details. Definitely keeping my space organized, so making sure that everything on my desk has a purpose. Everything that is decorating it, everything that is helping my productivity is organized and clean. It sounds really stupid, but I think it helps me at least feel as though I have some sort of control in life, knowing that everything I need at a given moment is right there when I need it. I also want to get better at reading, cleaning up, and sorting different emails. It'd be good to be on top of these things because it just helps me feel as though if I ever need to go back and look for something, say like an important email that has an address or an important email that has a code, I can easily grab it. Again, this is more of a nice to have, but I think if I could start just reading my emails, get that to 0, and then every day I get that done, it feels like I've accomplished something, even if it's small or unimportant. And cleaning. It's kind of gross when I have people over and I just feel like a little icky because I didn't clean for them. Maybe it's because my parents taught me that every time like we have guests over, clean the house, even though like the house is like decent. So I kind of see what they're talking about now, especially my dad. Hopefully I'm a little bit more organized in the future. Helps me plan out videos, helps me stay up on top of my schedules, and I guess less overwhelming when shit hits the fan and I really need something. I'll try to go down this path without falling. If I fall, I'm recording for the views. This is where it gets a little steep. So quick aside, I've been making this video for almost a month now. It's taking a little bit longer than I had initially expected because I have been traveling a lot more than I had predicted at the beginning of the summer, but it has become a little bit more difficult to feel as motivated. I'm not gonna lie, I yap a lot and it is very tiring to edit out the gaps, not to mention how long it takes to actually film all of this. Again, not having a fleshed out plan before starting this project does make it a lot harder. But yeah, enough of me complaining. I think it's time I utilize the B-roll footage I shot at San Diego. So yeah, let's get into it. The fourth area that I want to work on is finances. I think as I enter the real world and start living independently, I need to take a bit more responsibility on how I'm saving and spending money. I think I was extremely lucky growing up that I didn't have to really worry too much about money. I think I focused a lot more on academics and sort of my extracurriculars and building those up, mainly for myself, but also because of the communities I was in. So yeah, once I got to college, I realized I didn't really want to rely on my family as much to support me. So I think finance is a really big step for myself to be independent and prove to not only my family but myself that allows me to earn something that I can live on so that my family doesn't need to worry whether or not I can survive on my own. Heavy topic, but a lot of this stuff is very mundane. The three core areas are investments, budgeting and saving. With investments, I hear a lot about investments from those around me. And I don't know if you guys remember, but in 2020, the stock game was really hitting everyone. The amount of times I heard Dogecoin to the moon, I think boggles my mind. And I never really got into it. I saw it as kind of gambling. It is kind of like taking a big risk, even if you have an educated guess. And now that I know, I think I want to take a stab at it. I think the market is very weird. I truly don't understand it that much, but I think why not take a bit of a risk and step out of my comfort zone. Also, it makes for great conversation starters. I mean, if I go up to my coworkers, I might not have like a family of 4 or I don't know, a pickup truck that I take out on the weekends, but I can at least talk about how my investments might be down from the economy. Hashtag relatable. In terms of budgeting, sometimes I forget how much I spend. This is more of an issue of how I split my finances. A lot of the times when I go out with friends to eat dinner or something, maybe I front the bill and then I have everyone Venmo me back and I transfer that into my account. However, when you look at the breakdowns, it might say I'm spending $500 in 1 week, when in actuality, I'm just spending maybe like $200. But I realize it's really hard to keep track of how much I'm actually losing within a month. So I think it'd be a good idea to start allocating funding for eating out, entertainment, and big spending. That way I can keep track of what I'm prioritizing, as well as ensuring that I'm making some good decisions. So I think it'll be a great wake-up call. Also, I should start thinking about subscriptions that I want to pay for. So Spotify and YouTube Premium will have to definitely come out of my budget. Some other important things like Google One and NordVPN. I might not be a big YouTuber, but I'm always willing to be sponsored, I think are essential, at least for me. And finally, saving. I think as I listen to my parents and sort of talk to them about their future plans and maybe retirement, I start to realize how essential it is to start early. I think a lot of my friends as well have also talked a lot about 401ks and retirement. So I definitely want to know my options. And it's a lot. There are a lot of rules. There's a lot about taxes, and there's a lot of information I gotta learn from the state I'm living in. Not only that, I want to prepare for maybe the worst case scenario. I want to make sure that if all things go south for myself, I have a backup plan. I want to make sure that I can help my family out if anything were to happen to them. Being prepared for the future and sort of looking out on that sort of landscape would be great. Anyways, thanks for listening to Voiceover James. All right, so beach day is over. That was pretty cool. Love La Jolla. First time actually sitting down and like watching the sun and sunset. I did not end up recording because it was so busy here, which is a little bit disappointing. But I got so much B-roll that I ended up just enjoying all of it. I think I just wish I got more angles and more time during the sunset. I think I got a little bit impatient towards the end, so yeah, hope you guys think it was pretty as well. Now I'm gonna head back, get some tacos, maybe do a food review. See you guys in a bit. All right, so we have made it to the place and we have picked up the food. It was recommended to me. Hopefully it tastes as good as it sounds. I got 3 tacos. I got the fish, the carne asada, and then the al pastor. Yeah, this looks like pork. Nope, that was beef. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna eat one because otherwise I'm gonna create a mess in my car. I don't want to do that. So I was hoping to actually film in this apartment before I left, because I thought it would be a great way to wrap up one more goal, but I had mistimed everything and I had focused a lot on editing this video as well as another video that's coming out, hopefully before this one. It's not looking too great right now. I'm cleaning up this apartment alone. I had some help from some friends, but it is a lot of work getting rid of everything and packing. So yeah, I am hoping to film once I move back and I'm a bit more settled, have a bit more time to just like sit down and relax. But yeah, it's currently midnight in my flight, where I leave for my flight tomorrow at 9, so wish me luck. Alright, so I am currently in New York City. Somehow I am maintaining a different scene change for each of these points, so gotta say, super lucky to be doing that. Hopefully this trip will be very relaxing while also be very fun, catching up with a lot of people that I haven't seen in a bit. I will say I'm looking quite fashionable today. Here's a quick fit check to see what I wore. Super happy that I'm starting to do layering. Somehow got really lucky that my shoes matched the color of my shirts. I bought these pants from GU. Really love the baggy jeans look. Anyways, now let's get to our 5th point, and this revolves around knowledge. Just like all the other goals, I think knowledge is quite broad in terms of what I want to accomplish and what areas it covers. I think it can be summarized into 5 different points. The first is keeping up to date with current events. I think as someone who wants to talk to different people about their perspectives and how they're handling it or how they're processing everything, I think it's really important that I get back into reading the news daily. I think it's really cool to see what's out there and sort of live in the moment of knowing that this is happening the same time that I'm around. The second point is being more focused on my career. Even though I chose computer science for its practical abilities, I still find so many different topics so interesting besides software development. I want to flesh out my understanding of how to build something from the ground up. Other topics include distributed systems, what's happening with cloud, how is that working with the future, and how we're sort of changing that landscape now. It's a little bit cringe to say, but I want to learn more about AI. This is mostly in terms of its applications as well, with natural language processing. I think it has a great interaction with people and sort of understanding where they're coming from, sort of taking the context of language off of just what's being said on the paper and sort of building a deeper meaning behind it. But yeah, I also want to understand what's out there as well for me in terms of building my career. Do I want to continue being an individual contributor? Do I want to move up the ladder and sort of become a manager? Or do I want to change my environment and go to somewhere more fast-paced? I think the possibilities are really endless with where I want to go and what I want to achieve. So why not try and find out more? The next point is sort of related to what I'm doing now. I think I want to get better at telling stories or sort of conveying how I feel. A lot of the time I find myself speaking it directly in a certain way, exactly how I want it. But whenever I sit at my desk and try to type this all out, I really find it difficult to align the voices between what I'm thinking of and what I'm speaking out physically. I think once I learn what the distinction is and get a handle on it, my videos and my scripts might become even better. The fourth point I want to bring up about knowledge is learning photography. I think there are so many rules that I haven't really put into applications, and I actually hold myself back from using this camera to just take photos of everything around me. On one hand, I think it's good that I am just enjoying the moment and just seeing the sights for myself. But there's also that part of me that really regrets not being able to show something to someone. And I think learning photography will make every picture more meaningful and special to me and make me more confident that I could just share this scenery with others. And I think the final one is really just reading a book. I think I was having a discussion with my family the other day where we talked about the books I read in 8th grade and maybe even into high school. I think during those times it was so easy to just say, oh, this is what happened in the story, but I don't really get why this happened. This was kind of with me in Fahrenheit 451, if you've ever read it. I think so many of these great stories have deeper meanings behind not only the themes, but also the characters they introduce. And I think it's a little bit embarrassing that I have always struggled to find these deeper meanings, or that one aha moment that makes me sort of feel as though I know what everyone else is talking about. I don't think it's really too applicable to my current life, but it's at least interesting to see what I missed when I was younger. Maybe it'll be a sign of growth, who knows? I just think at this moment, maybe I really do need to pick up a book. I'm also really slow at reading. But yeah, those are my 5 points in knowledge. They're really just focused on learning something that I've always been interested in or been afraid to really pursue in depth. But I'm sort of hoping that this video sort of makes that all easier. Because I know I'm saying a lot of goals, but again, I'm still human. Even right now, as I'm listing out these goals and working on them, I don't know if you'll see the progress in between scenes, but I'm realizing how hard it is to maintain everything, how much energy it takes to sort of learn everything and sort of change. So yeah, this video is probably going to take a very long time to make and a very long time to edit and a very long time to release. But I think I'll know it will all be worth it once I see the final product. So it's been a while. Not gonna lie, I've been pretty preoccupied with a lot of different things in my life. For one thing, I got my wisdom teeth removed. That was not a very fun week. Ate a lot of yogurt, ice cream, and porridge. Also been spending more time with my family, so haven't really had time to sit alone. Pretty coincidental that I'm able to film my last goal at home, where I guess everything started. So yeah, let's get into it. My last and final goal revolves around my happiness. And obviously it's really hard to quantify as well as determine what actually makes me happy, because sometimes it's doing one thing or maybe finding something new. But at the end of the day, there's no real way of making sure I'm always happy. So I think the next best thing is identifying maybe different hobbies or passions I have that can potentially contribute to my happiness. So one thing I list is making videos. I've always enjoyed making videos, no matter how bad they can get, but sometimes it's not necessarily making the end product or the end video, but just making something in the process of it. I actually don't finish a lot of my ideas, even though I come up with so many, but I find a lot of joy in just sharing my ideas with my friends. Even if they might not find it that funny or interesting, I think it's still part of me that I enjoy. And not only that, sometimes I get into the script phase, but I never really make it into the recording phase. And sometimes writing down a script, even though it's half finished or not even finalized, it's just a nice keepsake to have. I think I want to keep that process going. It makes me feel as though I have a creative outlet to express different ideas, or at least visualize the scenes I come up with in my head. I don't know, it's like there's a little movie scene playing in my head, and I've always wanted to recreate that in some way. Although I've never made that ideal, I'm happy knowing I've at least tried. This one feels a little bit dumb to write, but playing video games. There's always something relaxing about turning my brain off and just playing a simple game. But I think playing games with other people, I find just happy communicating. Also, I play Overwatch, which has competitive ranked. And it's nice seeing that instant reward and gratification, or loss most of the times. A little cringe, but yeah, it's fun. I think continuing that competitive phase, I really want to get back into playing ping pong. I played a lot with my dad growing up. I even trained a little bit and tried to compete. And while I wasn't the best, I still found a lot of happiness and joy just trying to compete and improve. Not really just by myself, but with a community. Hopefully I can find a group like that, or switch into pickleball, which is a less coordinated table tennis. I like keeping my hands busy. I don't know if you've seen how my hands are moving throughout videos, but I've always been making stuff with my hands. So origami, paper making, different arts and crafts have always been one of my favorite pastimes. A repetitive task that keeps me calm and patient. I recently got some shadow boxes from some different stores, and it's been fun to assemble. It's calming and relaxing. I enjoy cooking. I found as I got older that making my own food is sort of a way of self-love. I guess it relates to when I grew up. Food was always a way of expressing how much you cared, how much effort you put into it, and how much attention it really takes to not only feel satisfied yourself, but to make others happy. I hope one day I can cook for others so that they can enjoy the food that I enjoy so much. I'm always very afraid about different people's palates because mine can be either super particular or super basic. But I think being able to share care and attention I put into something with someone else, I don't know, would make me super happy if I heard them say it's delicious. Also, imagine being able to say that you could just cook a whole ass meal for someone, or you can bake this amazing dessert in an afternoon. I don't know, that's super impressive to me. I'm super jealous of people who can do that, but I think it's something that I want to try doing. And finally, building stuff with code. It sounds super nerdy. I don't know why I put this last, because in all honesty, I feel like I should have reversed this. I've always been a curious guy. I think recently I've lost that spark. There was a period of time where I just felt so obsessed, learning something new and building it just out of plain curiosity or just enjoyment. I really miss those days. It was a crazy environment where I felt so confident and so alone at the same time. But I think it's best not to get stuck in the old days. So the only way to move forward is to keep building. Keep being curious. I think I've been away from coding for like a few months now, and extreme coding for probably a year and a half. And there's just some thrill about creating a solution for a problem that I just can't really find too much anymore. It's not like I constantly need to be in this high stress situation, but it's fun. So I think getting back into it, same way how I come up with videos, maybe come up with a coding project. It really follows the idea of less thinking, more doing, and I hope to make something from it. Anyways, that is everything I've wanted to cover. It's been a really long ride. Almost 2 months of actually filming. It's not easy. It's really not easy. I think when I first wrote these 6 goals and actually started trying to put them into motion, it was a lot harder than I thought. Not to say that anyone who creates 6 large goals will have an easy time, but it's difficult breaking habits and trying to ensure that I'm holding myself responsible. The process of making this video has made it easier, but a lot of environmental factors are never that easy. Obviously, you gotta spend time working on yourself, but you also have to remember that you're not alone and that you have other people who you want to talk to, that you want to see, family that you should probably spend time with. and I guess that was definitely something I forgot to keep in mind. Some days I think I just woke up thinking, I could just skip it. It's not gonna make a big deal, I can just wait. So I think the thing I want to do now is make sure that I'm really pushing towards my goal, even if I'm tired, even if I want to give up, because at the end of the day, what's life without a little struggle? I promise this entire process has been fun, but tiring, and a little bit of a chore, but I would have scrapped this entire video if I didn't like it. So yeah, hopefully I'll do an update in maybe a year or so. And you guys, who is myself in the future, will have seen a lot of progress and is proud that I've been able to achieve so much. So yeah, this is Upgrades. Thanks for watching.